Story time about the time that I got into a fight, called my sisters, and them heifers wouldn't come and help me. And what mess is it that you think I've been talking? Because you need to clarify. And so she like, yeah, my friend told me that you said, talking about the gay dude, blah, 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 this and that other thing. I said, really? I said, and when exactly did I say all of this? She was like, so you saying that you didn't say blah, blah, blah. So she like repeating whatever the dude told her. I can't tell you what she repeating. I couldn't have even told you back then, because I am not a you tell me what somebody told you and then I tell you what I said kind of person. I've never been that way. If somebody told you that I said something, believe them and then do whatever you're going to do about it. That's my position, because anything that I got to say to you, I'm going to say it to you. I'm not saying it to somebody else. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm not confirming or denying anything. I'm not doing all of that. You either believe it or you don't. And if you believe it, what you going to do about it, sis? What you going to do? And that's basically what I said to her. Even though she hooping and hollering the whole time. She hooping and hollering. She waving her hand. She cursing. She doing all of that. Me and my friend standing here, we both perfectly calm. My friend is perfectly calm because she already know how I get down. So she already know that this girl isn't doing anything but making the eventual behind whooping worse, because I'm calm. I'm smiling and laughing and just regular myself, letting her make a fool out of herself. I'm literally sitting there like, and you, in your mind, this makes sense? Like, for real? What about me would give you the impression that I ever even think about you, let alone have conversations about you? Why would I do that? You came all the way up to this job on your day off to confront me based on something somebody else said? If I ever had anything to say to you, I'd have said it. When he came over to me, I told him that if I had anything I wanted to communicate, I'd communicate it in person. So you hear now, I don't want B. I don't care what you doing with B. I'm entirely too old for any of these shenanigans. And if you want beef, we could have beef, but it can't be over this dude. And it's not going to be over no he said, she said. What kind of friends do you have that they would sit there and allow me to say these things about you? What did your friend say in response when I said all this to him about you? That's crazy that your friend would let me say all that. That's wild. What kind of friends you got? I ain't got no issue with you. But it could be an issue if you want to make it an issue. But this ain't really what you want. And she said, I'm going to whoop your da-da-da-da. I said, okay, well, you feeling froggy, do what you need to do. I puffed my cigarette. I threw it out so that, I'm prepared for you to whoop my behind or whatever it is that you think you're going to do. So at that point, B is like, yeah, I don't think you really want to do this, because I don't think it's going to work out how you think it's. And before he could finish saying that, she runs towards me. And I hit her so hard that her leg went out. Like, her leg went weak. And she, start falling. And the look on her face was, complete and total shock. Because, one, she couldn't believe that I'd hit her, because I was standing here completely calm. And two, she couldn't believe that I hit her that hard, right? And she was falling. And she looking at me trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. And her friends is like, oh, whatever, get up, what. And I'm just standing here looking at her. Because I'm not going to hit you while you're down, even though I could. There isn't any reason why I can't. But, that was more so a warning shot. That was more so me letting you know that this is not what you really want to do, and giving you the opportunity to change your mind, because you still can change your mind. You ran at me, I stopped you. You can get up and go back home. Child, I'm literally saying to her, you don't really want to do this. This is not how you want this to go. Leave me alone. She jumps up off the ground and charges again. And so now I beat the snot out of her. And while I'm beating the snot out of her, I'm mad. I'm mad that you have even put me in this situation. That you have put me in a situation where I got to put my hands on you over absolutely nothing. Over some he said, she said about a man I don't want. About a man you can absolutely have. About a man who has expressed that he don't want you. Matter of fact, before all of this went down, I was like, do you want this girl? Because I'm not stopping you from having her. And he was like, no, I don't want her. She's too young for me. She can't drink. She this, she that. And so now she's getting angrier at me, which is how she ended up charging at me and now getting the snot beat out of her. So she getting the snot beat out of her. And next thing I know, the dude who she came with tries to get me off her, but he pushes me or hits me or something. And so my homegirl ends up hitting him. So now, I'm mollywopping her. My friend is hitting the dude who done came with her or whatever. The B dude then comes and hits the dude who was with her, because how you gonna put your hands on a female, when you done came up here with her and she done started the fight. Then the dude playing for the pink team is standing there in complete shock because apparently he thought that his friend was really about that life and she clearly wasn't. The whole time I'm hooping and hollering and screaming while I'm beating her up like somebody granny talking about something. Didn't I tell you to leave me alone? Why you put me in? Listen, I'm hot, 7:30 hot. Fight is over. I go back in the job. I call my sisters. I'm on the phone with my sisters going off. This girl done came up here. They done jumped me, blah, blah, blah. They like, what happened? What happened? I put my friend on the phone who was there, and she's like, your sister done mollywopped this girl. She done beat the snot out this girl. She done drug this girl around this parking lot while she beat this girl's whole and entire behind. I done jumped in to defend her against the dude. The dude B done jumped in it and beat the snot out the dude that was with her. They all done left. Ain't nobody here. My sisters is like, so what is you want us to do? If the fight is over with, you done won the fight, you had backup, and the people is gone, you want us to come up there and do what exactly? Child, when I say I was so mad at my sisters because they would not come up there and help me fight some people who was already gone. Fight done been over with. I was livid. Do you hear me? I was going off on them. They was like, P, what is going on with you? How you mad that we won't come and help you fight some people you done fought already and the fight done been over with and you done already beat the snot out of them? So then it was caught on camera because we were out front of the job. So it was caught on camera. The supervisors called me in. They want to know what happened. I tell them what happened because it's caught on camera but not audio. So I explained to them everything that occurred. They looking at me like I'm out of my mind because these white people looking at this black girl like you out here beefing while you on shift. You clocked out for break and came back and clocked back in before your break time was over. Right? And this girl done came up here on her off day. So I'm at work. They don't discipline me at all. They call this girl back up there, I want to say like the next day to meet with her or whatever and fire her tail. So they don't question the dude who was playing for the pink team who basically instigated all this. He gets off scot-free. I don't see him back at the job for a couple of days, whatever. I come back to the job. He shook, scared to death. So I go over to him and I'm like, so you want to explain to me why you went back to this girl and told her all of this stuff that never occurred? He's talking about something. Oh, I didn't. So let me tell you something. I don't know you. You don't know me. There is no need for you to ever speak my name, for you to ever communicate anything regarding me to anyone else or ever even suggest that I have communicated anything to you. I didn't communicate with you before that. I didn't communicate with you when it was going on, and I'm never going to communicate with you again. And if it's really an issue, I got some folk that you could see, some folk that's your same gender, that got your same appendage, who you could have these kind of conversations with, but you can't play with me. You know what I'm saying? You created a situation and you got your friend's whole and entire behind whoop and she lost her job. Well, me and her not really friends. I know y'all not really friends because with friends like you, who needs enemies? You done hyped that girl up to come up here and get her whole and entire behind whooped, and you should have knew from the way that I was responding to what you was communicating to me that I was not the one or the two. You should have known that I was not the person for you to do any of that with. I didn't give you that energy. I wasn't having none of that. I wasn't responding to you in a way that should have given you that impression. I said, you assumed that because I wasn't with the rah-rah and I wasn't turned up and I wasn't going back and forth and I wasn't using profanity and I wasn't responding to the stuff that you were saying, that somehow meant I was a punk. When what it actually meant was that I'm a full-grown adult and I'm not entertaining none of that bull crap. And because I know what I know and I know what I can do, I'm never going back and forth with nobody when I can simply move on, when I can simply walk away, when I can simply tap their jaw if they don't get it, when I can simply handle the situation. If it come down to that, I can give them what they asking for if they asking for it. I ain't gotta have no long drawn out conversations and debates and pass messages and do all that. I'm not for none of that. I'm a grown woman. I have no business at my workplace having a physical altercation with a coworker who's 3 or 4 years younger than me. That's wild. That should never happen. Now, she don't have no job and you do. And you started all of this. If there's ever another issue, I got somebody for you. And that's not a threat, it's a promise. From then on out, he tried and tried and tried to get me to converse with him, to interact with him. And I would completely and totally ignore him. The only thing I would do is when he would speak, I would give him the head nods up and keep walking. I didn't want no parts of him. The dude B, he still had his job. And he was so apologetic because he felt like it was his fault. He felt like he should have just shut her down and didn't communicate with her at all. And then that would have made it clear to her that he just wasn't interested in her and it had nothing to do with me. And I faulted him because he know, and just like I knew, how young girls could be. You flaunting your money and offering to buy me things and getting me lunch almost every time we work together and offering me rides home and doing all that stuff to try to make her disinterested just made her jealous and envious of something that I didn't even want. And then to make it so bad, when I called my boyfriend to tell him what occurred, his thing was, well, you must have been kicking it with the dude. You must have been messing with him. Because otherwise, why was she so mad at you? And why did he jump into the fight? I'm like, sir, you thought I was supposed to call you to have you to come up there so that you could jump into the fight while I was in the middle of the fight? So that he was mad at B and wanting to come up there and see him. I'm like, no, we not doing all of this. We not dragging this out. It's over with. But I was really mad at my sisters for not coming up there when I called them. I felt like they should have just came because I called. Even though it wasn't nothing that they could have did. And it was over with. Because I was in my feelings. I was really, really mad that girl made me fight her.